I would like to invite Gaia. Gaia is students from the Faculty of Health Sciences, and she was in Finland on a traineeship. Gaia, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
And I invite you to share your experience now.
I will try now to share the screen.
Okay, we can see it.
I hope it will work, and if not, I will use the PDF. Okay, so I went to Finland, to Tampere, to do my practical training there. So how did I choose Finland and why? It was actually based on the list of foreign institutions with which our faculty has signed the bilateral agreement under the Erasmus program. There were basically two main reasons. The first one, I had never been to Finland before. And the second one was that Finland has the most efficient healthcare system in the world, which is based on well-developed public healthcare system. So, and I wanted to experience it firsthand. So that's basically it. Tampere is the largest student city in Finland and the third largest city overall. In Finland, Tampere University of Applied Sciences is very modernly equipped. They have a possibility of getting a school email address for the duration of your exchange. You have a free access to the library and to use the computers and printers. On your day of arrival, they organize you a pickup service from the airport to the accommodation of your choice. In your first week, they organize like a orientation week to clinical practice, where they give you basic information about your exchange. You fill in some registration forms, like a change of address. They also show you time premises, and they tell you about some practical matters. Also, you have to do some compulsory studies prior to clinical training. For example, we did a presentation of our country, and we need to write like a paper with differences in our healthcare system and Finland's healthcare system. So you also have a possibility of joining TAMKO, which is a students' union. And there you have a possibility of getting a student card with which you have thousands of discounts in Finland, also in restaurants, some shops even, and also have an option of borrowing a survival kit, which includes bed linen and kitchen utensils, which you don't have in your student housing. So the process was basically first my faculty had to nominate me to the host faculty. After that was
Gaia, we are just seeing the first slide.
Oh, okay. Wait, I will then share another. I will share the PDF then.
Yeah, please.
Okay, like this. Do you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this was the first, second, the third. This is the TAMK University. So here's the process. Then you have like an online application where you need to attach your learning agreement, CV, and motivation letter. And after being accepted, you finalize the learning agreement with the department coordinator. You also can like say if you have specifics, which practice do you want to do? Like I chose emergency and pediatrics. So, and then also there are other required forms that they send you. So this is the Tampere University Hospital. I did my clinical practice in pediatric hospital and heart hospital. They are both very modernly equipped with everything the newest. They were both actually opened just approximately 6 months before my arrival. The staff is very friendly, and also the mentors, which you have, they are English speaking. Usually you do 37.5 hours per week with 1 to 2 days off. But it's based on the schedule of the assigned mentor, but you don't have to do them. It's adjustable because if you, for example, have courses on campus, or if you have like schedule traveling, you can also skip that or do it, let's say, another day. They're very friendly about that and understandable. So the student housing, TAMK does not have campus dormitories, so you need to do an independent online application with TOAS, which is Tampere Student Housing Foundation, or POAS. It's the same as TOAS, but it's cheaper and not officially offered by TAMK. And you need to be very careful when applying to TOAS, because some accommodations and apartments are not furnished. They have specific furnished ones for the exchange students, so you need to be careful about that. So cost of living in Finland on average is higher than Slovenia. I spent around 50 euros per week for the food in shops, and the rent is approximately 2,000 euros for 5 months. They have fixed rental agreements, so if I stayed there for 3 months, but I had to pay for 5, so that's a little disadvantage, but it's worth it anyway. They also, food and drinks in restaurants or bar are particularly expensive, so I don't recommend that. I mean, you should, but just cook more. You have an option of eating in on-campus restaurant. With your student card, you have a discount, and it's $2.60 per lunch, so it's quite cheap. So the cheapest store to shop is Lidl, with the comparable prices to Slovenia. Also K-Market, but it's very expensive, and Alko, which is a specific alcoholic store with alcoholic beverages only. So, but alcohol there is very, very expensive. So if you have a possibility, bring it with you from Slovenia. So I did an exchange during COVID, unfortunately. So I had to end it early. I returned on government plane on April and continued my exchange online at home. So that's it. So about the Finnish cuisine, they love drinking milk and eating rye bread, especially spread it with the salty butter. Very famous is salty licorice. I will not try to pronounce the names. I know the salmiakki in leipäpuusto, which is a baked, slightly sweet cheese. It's like a squeaky cheese. Then you have a meat pie, which is a dough similar to the donut, and inside it's filled with the rice and minced beef and fried in the oil, like salmon soup, and reindeer and cinnamon rolls. They have very good public transport links. You can get a monthly pass. It's $38 euros. At the bus stop, you have to wave to the driver. So this is interesting. And when you're on the bus, you have to press stop. Otherwise, the driver won't stop you. So you could miss your bus. They very much respect their personal space. They're not a fan of small talk. They love ice fishing and ice swimming. At first, they seem like a very cold people and unapproachable, but once you get to know them, they are very lovely. They know how to have fun. They party and drink a lot. If you're invited to someone's party, you should bring your own beverage and food. So everyone eats their own food, even if it's a party at someone's house. So that's interesting. They are summer lovers. Every house, every building has one. If you, even from small children are there. I saw them 5 years old. They were already in sauna, more braver than me. They almost everyone has a cottage somewhere by the lake and river, and ice fishing and swimming in the winter. So some sightseeing, you should go to a Sarkaniemi theme park. It has like a tower, like a needle tower. It's the translation with the top by a revolving restaurant. You should go to the market hall and like a Piniki Park and observation tower. Also, you can see all the Tampere, Rovaniemi beach and sauna, and definitely take a trip to Lapland and a hockey game. That's an experience. Some pros and cons. You very much become very independent. You broaden your horizons with Erasmus. You improved your language skills. Definitely new lifelong friends all over the world. I like it very much when I did that. Then the disadvantages, a financial burden, especially Finland and Scandinavian countries, and post-Erasmus depression, which is, I didn't know about it until I came home and experienced it. So it's interesting. And some tips, you should pack the essentials in your hand luggage, because they lost mine. So I was without my luggage for 2 to 3 days. Invest in warm clothing and footwear. When you go to Lapland, it can be minus 25 degrees, so it can get very cold, but it's a different cold. It's more dry cold, so it's here in Slovenia, 0 Celsius is colder than minus 25. So, and don't give up on the paperwork. It's all worth it in the end. And so that's it. Thank you for your attention.